All right, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dameron.
Here.
Mr. Spence.
Here.
Mr. DeStefano is absent. Administrator present. Mayor Petrella.
Present.
Solicitor Lynn.
Present.
Fiscal Officer Denise Gianangel is absent. Dr. Scarpone.
Present.
Mr. Mattern.
Here.
And Mr. Merriman.
Here.
Would everyone please stand for a moment of silence in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. May I get a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting on September 15th, 2022?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Dameron.
Yay.
Mr. Spence.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
All right. Is there anyone wishing to speak before council this evening? Come up, Mr. Lockhart.
Good evening, Council. Robert Lockhart, your representative to the following agencies I'm going to report on tonight. First would be the meeting of September 15, 2022 of Steel Valley Regional Transit. This meeting was rather long, and it limited my capability of getting before council on your last meeting to present the facts that, and information presented that night. But tonight I'll present that. The first item I will discuss is we received the manager's operational and financial position of the organization. It's good, it's outstanding, no problems at all. Next up, information was presented by covering the ridership of the system, and it's a 7.6 increase over 2021. With a COVID situation, that's good. It's a positive. With regard to respective to Wintersville itself, 65.4% increase over 2021 ridership. As far as Robinson Township, a 350% increase in ridership over 2021. The other entities covering Steubenville and the other Mingo Junction and the ridership program with regard to the Association of Wheeling Transit is positive with regard to ridership there. And the transportation site at Raylan is increasing, and it looks like it'll be a positive situation for the upcoming Christmas season. There was a demonstration report presented with regard to the ridership that has been instituted now, as of now, but at the time, it was for the Findlay Industrial Township Park, and that covers Amazon, covers the Niagara Bottling Company. I don't know much about them. And with regard to the Gordon Food Service Company, they're all involved in that and associated in that industrial park. And that was hearings with regard to that consideration. And there were hearings set for here in the area September 19 and 20 at the downtown library, and additional hearings were set for the site at the Chiapa Library. Prior to that demonstration of the ride, there was the meeting at Bring Egg August 23 this year, whereby a representative of Amazon came to the mobile site of that's downtown Steubenville and presented details of hiring and all of the benefits associated with employment with Amazon. That meeting to the public was well received. Several applications were received in conjunction with that hearing. Following the other information with regard to Adams Street location across the street south of the mobile center is a vacant lot area, and that is owned by Steel Valley Corporation. In the process of now and had to go through in connection with the funding of the entire program, that is the site has to be evaluated with regard to environmental impact, etc. Part of that problem developed in the deed research of those properties had to be completed as part of the funding program. And that deed process had to go back several years to make sure any outstanding leads were addressed and taken care of prior to the funding received. Mike Paprocki from BHJ was able to present information to the representative doing the environmental study hired by Steel Valley, and presented information that would update that deed research. So that progress has to be completed prior to any consideration of the total funding for the program and the site. That site, coupled with the future consideration, is where you would have a terminal for the consideration of electrified buses in the future. And in order to get that thing done, all this other stuff has to be done. And it's progressing well. With regard to a proposal was prepared by BHJ, 30 pages in total, and it was presented for review to any entity that would consider the possibility of presenting an app for the website of Steel Valley in the future. And that is rather detailed, and that covering all the considerations involved in the website and associated requirements on the part of Steel Valley. That proposal was presented as of September 18 and has to be returned with regard to responses by outside businesses November 18 this year. Next was a presentation on the part of Representatives Jerry Thomas and Tim Turner. Our situation with regard to having 5 buses right now, vans, over 200,000 miles on each one of these, there was a need to consideration and complete a research nationwide to look for vehicles that they could acquire. And that was done by Jerry Thomas and manager Tim Turner. They were able to find 2 buses, one of which was unbelievably through a agency here locally. This bus was in tremendous shape. Mileage-wise, 19,000 miles. I'm sorry, 72,000 miles, but excellent shape. It was sitting outside our meeting site for observation purposes to look at. But Thomas and Tim Turner, who was a previous manager of the maintenance operation of Steel Valley, They looked at these things very closely and determined that one and one additional bus from up in Detroit. They examined the history of the buses with regard to maintenance and as a result, there was a consideration presented to the board of acquisition of these two items for around $25,000 total. And that was passed because of the inspection process completed by these two gentlemen. So that is a safeguard in connection with the 5 buses we have. We have to get those through all of next year and hope the federal funding is available for acquisition of 5 new buses so we meet the criteria of the mileage factor. So that was good work on the part of the guys doing that. The audit by the state, the audit results presented to the state of Ohio by to the auditor, and he presented the facts that it was certified, the audit of Steel Valley for this last year. And overall, the audit was very successful in behalf of Steel Valley. So the next audit made, I believe, I can recall 2 years down the road, but at least went through this. That covers the whole operation of Steel Valley Transit. So we're positive with regard to that operation. To be part of it as a board member is very nice. Other than that, the only other meeting I have to present is a meeting of Brooke Hancock and Jefferson County Metropolitan Planning Commission. That was September 21, which I attended. And at the time, I think the mayor was also present. There was only basically 2 resolutions at that meeting, one of which covered a reduction in funding for transportation consideration with the rideshare program based upon research and consideration at this time due to the lack of ridership, and I think it's basically attributed to the COVID situation. They felt that this amount of money should be reduced from their operating budget for that rideshare program. That was passed by the overall TAC committee and commission members at that meeting. Secondly was just another resolution covering the overall transportation program of BHJ, and that is a report that spells out the aim and operational advances and responsibilities of BHJ. That was also passed. Other than that, there was a video prepared at the request of BHJ, and one of the representatives of BHJ kind of oversaw the program, Mr. Brown. And what it did, it covered the video of the area BHJ and all of the outlets that have the responsibility, and volunteer-wise in most cases, of supplying food to people in time of need. It was rather extensive. It showed interviews of individuals operating these 22 different food services outlets. And their request was very good, very positive, very thankful for the help of the local people and local businesses that support the food service industry. Other than that, it was well worth, in my opinion, the presentation of the video prepared by an outfit offhand, I think, located in Athens, Ohio. They prepared this video, and it's open to anybody. I imagine they would like to see that. And spells out what they did, what they found out. And it's overall, the commission members, TAC members involved felt that it was a worthwhile entity and supported the program with regard to the future endeavor. Any questions?
I have one, Mr. Lockhart. Was there a decision made on the price of the annual?
I'm sorry.
Was there a decision made on the price of the annual bus passes?
Yes. As of August 1, previous meeting, I mentioned that there were public meetings, more than one, with regard to the increased consideration. At those meetings downtown and at Chiapa, no citizens showed up contesting the raise of the annual pass from $30 to $40.
Okay.
As a result of the meeting in September, prior to that, the meeting was passed by at the board meeting, the presentation, and it was passed that there would be an increase of $10 annually for that bus service, which overall is still an outstanding situation,
Right.
especially as of the current pricing of gasoline. So nobody's ever complained about it. Some people were saying it's about time. We've seen how we're getting away with $30. So it's $40, so as well received by the community. They have no objections.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you, Mr. Lockhart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to appear before council this evening? Okay. Next, we have no ordinances or resolutions tonight, so we will be moving on to reports, announcements, and communications. Our magistrate and police report for the month of September. The Wintersville Police Department had 161 incoming phone calls, 13 accidents, 24 cases, 10 alarm calls, 48 traffic arrests, and 13 criminal arrests. Mayor's Court, city revenue was $6,053.61. State revenue was $1,380. Other revenue was $405.08, for a total for the month of September was $7,838.69. Code enforcement report of the month. There was 3 licenses and 8 permits for a grand total of $500. I believe in your packet also you have an updated list of the code enforcement, the high grass list. On to a few announcements. Again, as always, everyone please try to obey the speed. I know last night we were watching cars go by at very high rates. A lot of the people that were in court were 57, 58 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour zone. Please watch your speed and slow down. Citizens, as I just mentioned with the grass ordinance, please cut your grass. Do not shoot it into the streets. It's dangerous for people on motorcycles, bicycles, and it also clogs our drains. So please do not do that. The Wintersville Fire Department and EMT will have their gun bash on October 15th at St. Florian Hall. Halloween will be Saturday, October 29th from 5 to 7 p.m. Reminder, we will have a Wintersville Winter Weekend, Saturday, December 3rd. It'll start at 5:45. This is being held at the Methodist Church. 5:45 will be opening ceremonies. 6 to 9 will be a craft show and luminaries along the street. Sunday, December 4th, our parade will be at 4 p.m. And then 5 p.m. we will come back here and do light up. I know we have some other vendors and food trucks possibly, and we will get those details hopefully finalized before the next meeting. And last announcement, if anyone is wishing to participate in the Christmas parade, please call the Village Building. Call us, ask for Tammy, and she will provide you all the details you need to know. On to the mayor's report. First, I want to congratulate, with the sponsorship of myself and the River Network, Player of the Week, Zion McGee. He has won the past 2 Players of the Week. He's doing a great job this year. I know this is like the 4th or 5th time, so congratulations to Zion from Indian Creek. An update on the camera system. The camera system will be here, should be getting started next week, at the latest the following week, to start at the updated system at the parks, our municipal building, and at the street garage as well. An update on Walnut Park. The painting should be completed by tomorrow, and the new roof will be installed in 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the weather. But it's Walnut has really shaped up down there. It's starting to look much better. All right. Next up, as everyone knows, we've had a lot of paving projects go on. I know we've been getting a lot of calls and a lot of work going on throughout the village. Everyone, please go the speed limit. Be careful of the workers. The paving projects, I think, went pretty well. As you can see, our new parking lot out here, they're coming back to stripe next week, I believe, and we did get to fix some water line breaks in the meantime as well. So great job getting that lined up for us, Walt. Thank you. I want to thank our crews. They've been getting a lot done. Obviously, thank all of our departments, all of our people here in the village office, our women that work in the water department, and everyone. Everyone's been doing a great job, and we appreciate that. AT&T will be continuing to work on the manholes, as well as NPL working on the gas lines. I believe that work will still be going on next week. So, and our crews from the village will be around. They have more jobs lined up next week. So, again, please be careful of all the construction that's going on. I also want to thank our first responders, as always, our police department, our chief back there, and our fire department and EMTs for doing a great job. Especially I know I got a call and got thanked for our fire department responding to a large fire down in Pottery Addition. I was told we showed up with 3 fire trucks, and they were very grateful from the other departments. So, again, thank you to all our first responders. Walt, I think I might have forgot to mention this. Walt and I did get a couple calls. So as everyone knows, the Jefferson County, that's where we purchase our water from, is from the county system. So our contract expired this month. I was able to negotiate with the Jefferson County Commissioners. Our contract will stay in place. They will not raise our rates until we go back to another meeting in January of 2023. So for October, November, December, we will have the same rates of purchasing our water from the county. Next on the list, as you can all see, I'm wearing pink. So it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We just want to show our support to, I think there's nobody up here. We know there's all different types of forms of cancer, not just breast cancer. And I think we all know someone personally that's probably been affected by any type of cancer. So again, this month is breast cancer specifically. So we're wearing pink to support a lot of our women out there. Lastly, on to business news. Welcome another new business, Vanderborn Properties, LLC. It is a real estate development company that will be hopefully making an impact here in the future within our village. That makes 11 new businesses of the year. So that is great. Hopefully we can keep moving in the right direction with adding more and more businesses. With that being said, a reminder to citizens, please keep supporting all of our businesses within the village. Support our local businesses. They need your help. Support them as much as you can. They definitely appreciate it. That is all I have. So, next on the list, well, no report tonight. Administrator's report, very short tonight.
Very short. Tonight's the last night for our village-wide hydrant flushing, so they'll finish up tomorrow morning at 6 p.m. Hopefully by the next meeting, I'll have a report for you of any deficient hydrants and maybe a plan as to when they'll be repaired or if they need replaced. We were in pretty good shape after the spring flushing. I think only 2 hydrants were in need of repairs. In 2 weeks, the Phase 6 sewer bids will be due. That's in the northwest part of the village. Looking at the wrong note. Mostly the Garden Drive, Meadow Road area, and part of Canton Road there. Probably in November or December, once we get the funding in place from OWDA, we'll award the contract and have a start date. Also working on next year's projects. We have a October 28th deadline due for the Public Works applications. We have a paving project pretty much locked down now, approximately $275,000. We're going to go for a 50-50 grant and our money match. And then we're also, I've broken the Moon Valley project down into 2 phases simply because the cost of materials is out of sight. So we're going to do phase 1, which will be Rex, Russell, and Day Circle. When we did this 2 years ago, it was $537,000, the estimate. It's $725,000 for this upcoming application. So we'll be looking at a couple sources of grant funding, and we'll see how that goes. That one's statewide competition, so we won't know anything about that till either April or early May. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Walt. All right, moving right along. On to unfinished business. Does anyone have any unfinished business?
You know what? Are we anywhere with the wall? Any update on the wall on Parkview?
I'm glad you brought that up. You beat me to the punch there. Yes, Jake and I have been working on that since, I'm not even sure what day you started here, Jake, but we've been working on it for months. I'll turn it over to Jake and he can give everyone a quick update.
The update would be that we're going to start looking to enforce our ordinance, which is Chapter 1327 of the Wintersville Codified Ordinances against who we believe is the owner of the wall. That's a nuisance ordinance. You can't have a wall that's, a public nuisance, so we would be moving towards that. We'll give the owner time to correct the wall. Our ultimate enforcement is demolishing it ourselves. That would be very costly. There's no guarantee we'd recover that money. It's also a minor misdemeanor to have this type of nuisance created on your property, so we could go that route too. But we're going to try to negotiate with the person who is the owner of the structure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. Any other unfinished business?
Do we have maybe any update on School Street situation over there, or is that going to be a little bit later?
I don't have an update.
Okay, thank you.
Besides they painted some lines on the street, but no, I believe, correct me if I think their court date got moved to October 18th, correct?
They did move, the court date was moved to October 18th when they'll have the hearing for the injunction for them to try to block that road. The Christian school believes that they own the road, and the drug rehab center believes that they should have an easement that leads back to their property. They have asked they've sent affidavits to a couple city employees, which we're reviewing now, and they will, depending on if we think they're accurate or not, we'll send them back signed or not, and that will go towards that hearing that they're going to have on, I believe, October 18th.
Anybody else for unfinished business? Okay, moving on. Anybody have anything for new business?
Nothing.
I think the 11 new businesses in 1 year is great news. And I wanted to get a shout out to the mayor, Penny, and last night the chief was helping out on garbage duty for the last Wintersville Wednesday. It takes a lot for everybody to show up every day and give their time.
Thank you. Anybody else for new business?
You know, you was talking about some patchwork repairs, greatly appreciated. We've had, on Meadow Road and Garden back there, we've had several water disruptions over the past couple months, and the road was a mess. It's good to see it was fixed. We greatly appreciate that over there. I've heard nothing but good news, and thanks for the resulting cover-up. You talk a bit about the fire over in Pottery Addition, and it was where I am employed is across the river from there, and I was leaving Basil's from lunch and I saw the smoke over there, and I says, oh man, this is not good. You know, you get that thought about it being your facility there. We go on up there, and the visual was just really, really intense. It came across the river, and it was some, debris was falling that you could tell was from the fire across the river. I'm telling you, it was half a mile away, and you could still smell the tires and stuff. It was a very quite visual, and the first responders that responded to that are, to be commended. I mean, it's a brave thing. They go on over there with maybe not knowing all exactly they got to get into, and they showed up good. So just a follow up with both of that on the administration. Also, good to see the police force alumni back there too. Chief LeMan, good to see alumni here. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Anybody else for new business? Okay. Walt, do we have any transfers?
I do not believe so, no.
Okay, no transfers. Can I have?
No,
No.
thanks.
All right. No transfers. Can I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Dameron,
Yay.
Mr. Spence,
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone,
Yay.
Mr. Mattern,
Yay.
Mr. Merriman.
Yeah.
Did an excellent job there, Walt.
They can read this.
All right. This meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting will be October 20th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Thank you.